Hello, readers, and welcome to Shelf Help and Upon Reread. You may notice this is not from Blood and Ash. First, I'm not abandoning that project. This one is just a bit more time-sensitive. Hell's Bells was intended to be my next series for Upon Reread, but you may have noticed my country has decided to light itself on fire. A burning, orange, trash fire. And I need to talk about this book within the context it is being written and the body politics it addresses. Just to be clear, so there are no mistakes or misunderstandings on where both the author, J.C. Lynn, and myself stand.
If you think my accent opens the door for you to praise that corrupt and hateful orange fuck, think again.
Also, barring something truly dramatic, I'm in a mostly safe demographic. That is to say, I am a white, cisgender woman. My living situation is stable, and I can do this as a hobby. My channel is small, but it is mine. And I can plant my feet and my flag and add my voice to those speaking for human rights for all. I never intended for this to be a political channel. It's about the books, the stories we tell, and the way we tell them. But stories are art, and art, being the creation of people, cannot help but be political. And just so you don't think I'm reading too much into this series,
Books and therefore reading are inherently political. They have always been political, they will always be political. That's why people try to ban books, which, by the way, book banning, massive red flag.
As a personal example, my choice to present myself as an avatar is rooted in how women are perceived and treated online. So I paid an artist, also shockingly political in the times of AI plagiarism bots, to make me a cute little bookworm. And when I say political, I don't mean political parties, though that is an unavoidable part of it. I mean social politics. How we interact with others in society, and the views we hold that affect how we treat them, our in-groups and our out-groups. And the afterlife is the ultimate statement of social politics. Who we believe, collectively or individually, deserves reward or punishment for their life choices. Hell has been presented many ways over the centuries. Most famously in Dante's self-insert fanfiction, The Divine Comedy, and most musically in Has Been Hotel. For Dante, hell was full of famous Greek heroes, because he was a Roman and didn't like the Greeks very much. There are plenty of YouTubers who have gone into that with much more detail. But for our purposes, he made famous the 9 levels. And also probably codified the use of hell as a place for one's enemies. Has Been Hotel as a rather modern take on hell. It has the 9 levels, but it's also a dumping ground for all sinners without regard for situation or circumstance. Serpentius's crime was cowardice. He witnessed the first murder of Jack the Ripper and did nothing, because the Ripper was a rich client and he feared for his own comfort and safety. Alistair, meanwhile, was a murderer and a cannibal who actively sought out power in hell even before he died. But as far as the show's canon version of heaven is concerned, these two have sins of equal weight, deserving the same eternal punishment. The fact Pentheus's actions have led him to being the first redeemed soul has put heaven in a bit of a tizzy. Hell in the framework of actual Christianity is complicated, because there are 45,000 denominations, and they don't all agree. For some, hell is merely separation from God. For others, it is fire and torture. And that is without encompassing the totality of Judeo beliefs, like Johannam for Islam and Johina for Judaism. My deepest apologies if I said those wrong. That said, we're talking about the loudest voices, which currently are the evangelicals, who delight in framing themselves as holier than thou, while never seeming to have read the holy book they so cherish. They kneel at the cross and pray to a Middle Eastern Jewish Palestinian man of color who preached feeding the poor, clothing the naked, healing the sick, and welcoming the stranger, and then vote to withhold food from the poorest children in order to take away everyone's health care. And they are absolutely happy to dump all their sinful eggs in one fiery basket. It is in this environment that Hell's Bells was born, first as TikTok sketches, and then as a book series. The hell in this series is much gentler and much kinder than any of its predecessors, and far kinder than what the evangelicals believe, focusing more on healing and justice than on punishment. Level 1 is therapy. It's for people who just need a little help, because life is hard, and sometimes circumstances beyond our control leave us with spiritual scars. The souls that end up here need to learn to love themselves so they don't carry that into the next life. Level 2 is more intense therapy, for those who have let their scars begin to wound others. Not maliciously. A parent who comments on their child's weight, not out of a desire to cause harm, but for concern about their quality of life. Because intent matters. Levels 3 through 5 are for those who maliciously hurt others. For an example, the active racist down through the KKK member. These levels are for empathy training, where souls experience the same emotional and physical trauma they put others through. Also, other souls can come down and seek their own justice. Theoretically, with work and a willingness to learn and grow, any soul can rise through the levels and achieve reincarnation to try life again. But no soul has done so from lower than level 5. Levels 6, 7, and 8 are for those who do a lot of harm. Priests who use their position and the trust of their congregation for personal profit. Politicians, CEOs, billionaires, and others who implement massive social harm can also be found here. But again, with the severity of the offense sending you lower. Level 9 is for the irredeemable. Those who knowingly, willfully, maliciously do harm to others. Serial killers, pedophiles, and genocidal dictators can be found here. But you will notice that level 9 is also the smallest, because very few souls are irredeemable. So why this book? As a millennial who grew up in a highly fundamental Christian area, who was encouraged to go to college only for entry-level jobs in that field to require a master's and 5 years of experience, but they would be happy to give me an unpaid internship, ending up working minimum wage jobs that didn't cover my bills while sucking the soul from my body and having to put off medical care because of cost and lack of insurance, and having a mother who had cancer twice. It's not really a shock this story speaks to me. Also, I spend an inordinate amount of time wishing I could explain to very Christian Republicans why they are hypocrites. But what is a help desk when it isn't there to help? Customers is the wrong word. As with any job, there are rules, guidelines, firm suggestions for those working at the help desk. 1. Lead with kindness. Kindness is a decision you can unmake at any time. 2. Assume ignorance before malice. We don't know what we don't know. Life is full of chances to learn and grow. People deserve that chance until they don't. 3. Taketh no shit. No one has the right to treat you badly. And 4. Sometimes you just gotta trapdoor. So join me next time on Upon Reread as we begin our descent into hell. Please bring your own handbasket and let me know how I can improve your shelf.